Hello folks and welcome to the channel. I'm Commander Roscoe, and in this series I'm going to be seeing whether or not I can do what John Hammond couldn't do: run a successful Jurassic Park. I'm going to be playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 with all the economy and research settings turned on, and I'm going to see if I can build a park that would rival that of the movies and include all the attractions and dinosaurs seen in the film, and whether or not I can actually make it sustainable and not have our guests be turned into dinner. So let's go ahead and see whether or not I've got what it takes and whether I can put John Hammond to shame. Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. I'm Commander Roscoe and we are continuing our Jurassic World Evolution 2 playthrough, where we try and create a functional Jurassic Park better than John Hammond ever could. Now, in the last episode we released Gallimimus into the park. They are one of the dinosaurs on our lists that we can now have ticked off. And we had just finished setting up our park tour ride. So these are the cars. This was another one of the criteria we had to do for this series, which was we had to have a successful park tour, and it had to go through a T-Rex paddock. Now I've set this up. This is our T-Rex paddock here. The idea being the cars arrive, they sit on the top of this road, of this hill, and they can look down to the T-Rex. We're not quite at T-Rex stage yet. In fact, we still have quite a few other dinosaurs to go. So one of the things we're going to focus on in this episode is building up the infrastructure for the next few areas. So for example, over here, this is our T-Rex paddock. We're pretty much set up for that, for when we get a T-Rex. We maybe need to get some sort of viewing platform in place, or come up with some sort of way for, other than the cars, for people to look at him or her. But we need to set up, what is this paddock going to be here? It's going to have to be herbivores, because the cars go through here. Same with this paddock. We're going to need to set up some infrastructure around here, shops, emergency bunkers, restaurants, etc. I am going to turn my mic down because I see it's spiking quite a bit, so give me just a second. There we go, that should help. So one of the things we also need to do is we need to connect this tour up to a path. So first of all, we're going to go to the map because the rain's loud in my ears. So we can see we have Dilophosaurus, we have Compes as well. Compes were on our list. So this is two dinosaurs off the list, Paracephalosaurus and Gallimimus. So we're at 4 out of a potential, what was it? Brachiosaur, Parasaurs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're almost halfway. So let's have a look and see. I want to go into a menu because the rain's really loud. Fossil wise, there's a couple of things we could continue on, but we want to work towards, let's see, Triceratops and Brachiosaurus, I would say. Well, T-Rex as well. So what do we need to work for T-Rex? Where's T-Rex? T-Rex is there. So we need node 4A, which is this one, which requires node 3A. We just need the scientists to be a bit better. What is it they are? Probably genetics is what we're sucking at there. And we could just do a bunch of research for the actual park infrastructure. We could go down the route of extra scientist upgrades. That's probably actually going to help out quite a bit. We'll get our logistics specialist on that, along with our with Murdoch, our altruistic salary dude. We will put in another expedition, and I think we're going to start getting the Velociraptor genome ready. Start working on that because they are also on our list. We do need to release them into the park. And while they're away, let's work on some pathing. So let's go for a wide path because this is going to be a major thoroughfare. And I kind of want it to look as fairly natural as I can. There we go. We're going to need to take this water away. Put the big brush on. and we're going to need to kind of come up with some sort of like path system here. So I'm actually going to build, if I can, almost like a little roundabout, right? And you should probably be a large path for now. That gets rid of that warning. We're going to need access to all of these enclosures for the ranger team. Now I'm going to put a ranger team down here in the south somewhere. Probably down here, because this is going to be our velociraptor pen, and I don't want them having to travel from the other side of the park to deal with velociraptors. So we'll shove a gate in there. We'll shove a gate here, and we'll shove a gate there. We're going to take away a little bit of the foliage there. The Apatosaur is ill, but it's fine, medics are already en route. Right, let's put down a ranger team so that I can plan that out. And honestly, I think slapping them back here is going to be our best bet. We're going to need power, so we're going to need a large substation, and this needs to cover a fairly large area, so I might actually like, I don't want to put it here because it'll interrupt the jeeps. I think we can maybe hide this somewhere like here. It will reach the ranger post, and then I just need to connect it up to our existing infrastructure. Then we need to run a path here, so again the idea is wide path for our guests, which kind of takes them down this direction, probably towards a little bit of shops and maybe some like viewing galleries, but then a facility path up to the ranger outpost. And I kind of like the idea that it's like a winding path. That's quite cool. And then we can leave that kind of open just now. Other thing we need to do is I need to put some ranger posts down in these enclosures for the rangers to check in at. T-Rex one's probably going to go there, and then the Gallimimus, while we have one, and this is one very big paddock, the second half of the paddock doesn't have a ranger outpost, and I'm going to assign that to Ranger Team. Ranger Team 1 must be fully tasked, so Ranger Team 2, you guys take that. And I'm going to need to assign medical teams as well, actually, because I'm very aware that you guys at the minute are only tasked to this paddock. So we'll task you to these two just now. In fact, you actually need to be tasked to there as well. So maybe a second oh no, you are tasked. Maybe a second medical facility, or at the very least a second medical truck might be a good upgrade. We are obviously running low on power because it's shut down part of the fencing. Granted, we don't need that bit of the fence online just now, so power's a problem for us. So let's go ahead and we'll start going through some of this velociraptor genome. We need to rest some of our scientists. Nope, don't do that. Don't want to hire somebody. We'll arrest you. Now, what do we need for larger power? We need to get to 3.5 stars, and we're at 3. Right, okay. Let's see then. I'm looking for large herbivores. There's Brachiosaurus. So we need to get sauropods 3, which is this one, and we require a bit more genetics. So again, we'll let our staff rest up and then we'll see where we're sitting at that point. What other genomes do we have access to? So we can do Velociraptor if we want to. Although we need to prepare for them because they are going to be intelligent, and that's bad. Got copies. Sediosaur, you're like a small... You're quite a small, like, hunter thing, I think. Yeah, you're like a scavenger, very similar to the Compies. Because you require very little meat. You have a smaller population requirement, though. You're not very... Yeah, you're the same appealing as the appeal level of to our guests as the Compies, so I'll just stick with Compies. There's no point in getting you... We'll maybe work on getting some other dinosaurs that maybe aren't on our list to try and bulk up the park a bit. Now, Science Centre. I think did I not just research more stuff? Or better staff, should I say? Yes, extra scientists. So this will allow us to add an extra scientist to every task, which means it becomes a bit easier for us to complete certain research projects. Over here, we're going to go with, again, probably the improved yield. So we get more fossils from our expeditions. No upgrades for you. That's an emergency bunker, so there's no upgrades for that. The visitor centre. We've got improved construction costs. The staff centre. The rest time's reduced. Ranger teams 1 and 2. We could give you advanced scanners. What I really want is either task scheduling or additional ranger teams. That would be quite good. Medical team. Again, don't really want that. I want additional MVUs. I want another truck, because then I can task that truck. Hatcheries, what upgrades we got for you guys? Just an extra scientist? Okay. So, we are waiting on our scientists at this stage. We could probably do some more fossil... No, because we're still working on that. Is there any, like, small tasks we can be working on? We can unlock some more skins, let's do that. Okay, so while we're waiting on our scientists doing all that, let's learn a little bit about the Gallimimus. Gallimimus is a genus of theropod from the Ornithomidia family. Although its name translates to chicken mimic, Gallimimus is the biggest of the ornithomidic dinosaurs, around 450 kilograms and 4 meters in length. The name refers to its neck vertebrae, which are similar to those of chickens. Fast, agile, intelligent and with excellent vision, Gallimimus is well adapted to evading predators and catching its own prey. The genus was discovered in the Gobi Desert in 1964 by Polish paleobiologist Zofia Kellen-Jarwowski when she excavated a partial skeleton in the sands of the Neming Basin. Further exploration of the area in the next few years unearthed more Gallimimus bones, giving researchers a more rounded understanding of the genus. The remains of Gallimimus have been found across Mongolia, with fossils dating the genus to the late Cretaceous period, approximately 70 million years ago. It lived alongside a wide variety of dinosaurs near rivers, lakes and streams, feeding on ground level plants and shrubs. Okay, so staff should all be finished their tasks now. So in terms of, let's see, carnivores. Let's get medium carnivores 3A. That sets us up to start doing... Oh yeah, well, our genetics is our weak point just now, actually. That sets us up to start working towards T-Rex. And, you know, we could always throw one of the smaller carnivores into this pen to test whether or not this hill idea works. You know? It's something that needs to be tested. So I'm going to assign, let's get Ranger Team 3 and we'll start assigning them to these Ranger posts. Right, next let's work on enclosures, and let's get a bunch of hatcheries on the go. So we can slap a hatchery down here for our big, for one of our big herbivore plants. Again, we'll do a little facility path there. Now this pen I don't necessarily think is going to be... I don't think we can really fit one in here without it, you know, taking up access. So what I might actually do is we might do a bit of Disney trickery here, where we remove, say for example, this section of fence and hide it in amongst foliage. The dinosaurs will go through there, but nobody should see it. That is the idea. So let's work on this. So we're going to we need a lake. You know, we need water for the dinosaurs to kind of wander around in. Let's get rid of the fencing here and here. So this is now one big thing, but as far as our guests are concerned, it's all the same. We fill this area with heavy foliage so that they can't really see. And it'll just look like the fence goes in through the forest, but the dinosaurs are free to move about. And then we'll actually get to see them kind of migrate through the paddock. So this is now probably our biggest paddock. Yeah, it is. So this will house our biggest of herbivores. This paddock will come back to. We could start putting down viewing galleries though. So I'm going to slap one there. We'll slap one there. We'll slap a couple of viewing galleries down along this fence as well, because again this is our nice big paddock. I kind of like the idea that you don't see this bit unless you take the tour, and obviously you're not going to see a lot of this without taking the tour as well. Right, now we need to get paths set up for these. So we're just going to straight line these. It's the easiest way to do it. Now this one we'll need to take a bit more care with when we come to actually putting dinos in there, purely because the velociraptors are going to be intelligent and we're going to have to hide the guests as best as we can from them, otherwise they will try and escape. We're also going to need to probably upgrade the fences as well. Let's now go for guest amenities. We're going to need shelter. Shelter coverage is going to be quite high, especially down here. We're going to need shelter coverage over here. Basically anywhere where we see red we're going to need to slap a shelter down on. That kind of covers a lot of this. Don't know why this one path, but you know, let's, even though there's a shelter there, we could slap a shelter down there. So maybe just a footfall thing. Next we're going to need restrooms, toilets for everybody. So is there a toilet? We do have a toilet down there. We keep the toilets opposite the shelters, or next to shelters. And we're going to need to do a bit of electrical work down here as well. So large substation. I'm going to need to slap one of you down here somewhere. Put it behind the toilets. We won't connect that up. Power is definitely becoming an issue now. So we might need to... Oh, you don't have a power source. Large substation for you. Now, let's start... We don't have a 3-star park. We need to work on that. And honestly, I think the best way to do that is to actually start working on the bigger dinosaurs. So let's get sauropods 3 as well. Because once we do that, we can unlock sauropods 4, which gives us our brachiosaur, and that is a big dinosaur, big appeal factor. We can get them in the park, and they should get us a good number of guests. Then we can work on armoured herbivores to get us towards triceratops. I also need to release 3 dinosaurs with a defensive trait in order to get them. That's going to be interesting. We can get some stegosaurids in the park. Let's have a look at our fossils. Who have we got? There is one person not on this. Logistics. Go on an expedition. Get me something I can release into that big paddock that we've just worked on. Let's go for like... Oh, Ankylosaurus would be a good one. Not on our list, but is, I think, featured in the second film. Yeah, we're definitely getting some Ankylosauruses in the park. Go for that one, the Nosatoraceratops. I'm going to butcher this, I fucking hate saying the names. We can release them in the park, they'll get us some attention. And then we need to start planning for our power issue, because at the minute we've got these 2 small stations. Now we can upgrade these to produce more power, but a large plant would be better. Now I reckon we can meet the criteria required for our thing. There was obviously a hold up because of dinosaurs, because everybody's... Actually, what is the view like? We can ride. Oh, we're in the shitty part of the ride. Right. See, once we actually release a bunch of dinosaurs, we might just sit in the ride for a bit and see what we can see. You know, once we get a few of these paddocks filled out. But yeah, obviously there was a queue building. Can I change car? I can change car. Nope, that's towards the end. Nope. I'm looking for someone who's about to go up the hill. Oh, this is the road crossing. Like, tell me that doesn't look like it's straight out of Jurassic Park. Come on, give me a car that's going up the hill. Hello? So obviously you guys have seen it, like, I've been kind of like trying to film the dinosaurs in first person mode for my little, you know, learn about the dinosaurs section. The Gallimimus are so fucking aggressive with these cars. Like, the Parasaurs kind of avoid them. The Gallimimus are just like, nah, fuck you. Like, we're gonna touch it. We're gonna touch the car. I want to be in... See that car there? That's the car I want to be in. Give me that car. You know, I want to be in him. Let me be in that car. Oh, here we go. Good. It's figured it out. Right. Alright, pal. So, this is... I want to basically see what the view is going to be. You know? And I can, like, hide the UI. Now, in an ideal world, I'd be able to stop the car in this paddock on this hill so that people can have like a moment to look down. But at the minute, they're just going to have to, you know, take a quick glance as the car's driving.
Each species that you see on this tour should
You know what? That's a fucking fantastic view. And in fact, wasn't the little music? If I was to run a fence down here, they'd never see it. Oh, I think I've nailed that, if I do say so myself. Right, fossils we need to clear through because our team is actually stuck in the field because we have so much to come back. So let's get on this a little bit. You two work on that. We need to rest some people up as well. Maybe we hire a genetic specialist. You know, our money situation's good. So let's see, do we have... We have a genetic specialist. And honestly, you're not too expensive either. Welcome to the team. You're going to be doing a lot of work for us. Is that team back from the field? Not yet. I mean, research-wise, we could achieve that fairly easily with our new genetic specialist. Let's go ahead and do that. And I think we'll look at potentially releasing a small carnivore in here to start with while we're working on T-Rex. But we're going to need to fix our power situation. So I think it is a case of release herbivores in here, get the park rating up. We need to continue doing that. So we need actually hotels because hotel coverage is piss poor. Let's throw down a hotel here. That'll have a good view of, like, you know, releasing our big dinosaurs from this hatchery. You can see the cars going in and it kind of entices them to go on the cars. We could also throw a lot of foliage up here, so it's again kind of adding a little bit of magic to that tour. We're going to need shops, maybe another hotel, because we've got one small hotel there and one big one, and that's kind of it. So maybe a hotel down here. Like, what if we do a kind of... We put the hotel here. And again, I'm thinking this will help kind of block off the raptor's view of this area. And then let's make a little shopping centre here. Medium amenities will do for now. So if we do food, drink and shopping. And what I'm hoping to kind of do is make like a big square area. Why are you like that? And then we can decorate this area quite a bit. There we go. And you know, we can make this fairly nice, we can make this nice and decorative. We could throw in a nice fountain in the middle there. We can chuck down a couple of, you know, planters. If we do them like this. That, I feel like that's too big, but we could have, yeah, look, like some little parasols out there. Some nice lighting. Some bigger lighting in the corner. This is all going to need power. Now I'm not sure, is this covered by a substation? It is. So we lack the power down here. Yeah, that looks quite nice. We can foliage this area up quite a bit. You know? That looks quite nice now. Just a shame none of it runs. And even just doing that, that has crept us up to just shy of 3.5 stars. Do we have... What is struggling with our appeal? Is it the number of species? I think is our problem. Guests, we're at our max limit for guests. Ticket sales and amenities are not bad. The appeal, I think, comes to the fact we don't have very many dinosaurs, so we need to get more onto more of them. So let's sell. Yeah, see, this is what I'm wanting. Some sort of herbivore that I can chuck out. That's going to get us a bit of attention. Rest you up. And let's go and let's work on that Ankylosaurus. Because again, I think that will be a cool dinosaur to release into the park. Let's make this area here a bit more. So again, when you're on that tour, you're not going to see much of that infrastructure. You know, you come down the hill, you cross over, and then you're back into it. We're trying to keep the magic alive here, folks. Bit like Disney. And I'm aware at this point the video's getting a bit long, so my goal here is going to be we'll do these fossils, which I'm going to speed up. We will see if I can get another herbivore ready to be synthesized to go out into the park, because we're close on a couple, and yeah, we'll see where we are in a couple of minutes. But the tour is busy. It seems to be going down fairly well. You know, the local appeal varies, I think, from car to car. Yeah, it does. And obviously every now and then they run into issues, they bunge up, and then it's a big convoy. We'll just pretend that's like a fucking group booking. New viable genome. Excellent. Let's see if we can increase that genome just a little bit. We might actually be enough ready to finish that genome. We'll throw in a little bit of compay as well there. But what we can do is we can set up the skins on this. So modify genome. And we want to randomise the skins, and we want to randomise the patterns, so we get unique dinosaurs. At the minute, that's all we're caring about. Can we actually... Yeah, we can. Synthesize a batch and see what we get. Absolutely no negative traits, that's good. So what did we get? We got docile, good, long-lived, excellent, and long-lived. And not a massive difference in cosmetics. Was that 3 Gambian river basins? Okay, we'll just do the whole lot. Yeah, you do that. Oh, because our medical specialist is doing fossils, that's right. It's fine, these are not overly complicated dinosaurs anyway. But I think this is probably a good place to stop, because I can edit out the storm, or this rain that is really loud in my ears. And when we come back, we'll have some new dinosaurs to release into the park. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. We are getting closer to our goal of running a successful park, although we're running into a little bit of energy issues. But once we get... I reckon once we release these dinosaurs, the park's going to jump that a little bit to 3.5 stars, and I can fix that problem, and then we can get rolling on getting some more variety into our park as well. So, as I said, hope you guys are enjoying the series, and I will see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.